It is considered the greatest SmackDown of all time, but let's see how great these top 5 moments really are, brother. Whoa! 25th of July 2002, delivered big time with debuts, steel cage matches, dream partnerships, The Rock and Hogan teaming up. When do you get that?
Two of the biggest stars in the history, brother.
It may look a wee bit weird they're hugging, but you know what? I'll take it, brother. I'll take a wee bit of BBM if it means we can get The Rock in the Hulkster. And let's dive in to
What the hell is BBM?
Brokeback Mountain.
Alright, fair enough. Anyway, up first we have Big Match John. Only at this period of time he was Little Match John, and he's got a little problem with testing Canadians. He was burying Test's teeth, making fun of their teeth, saying that they don't get dental care like they do in America, which is not true. They do, they just don't have to pay for it, unlike you gullible American Yanks. But yeah, Cena here burying Test's teeth, even though Test's teeth look alright. And Test is like, they say you're the new face of ruthless aggression, but I just think you're a little bitch. And then he slapped Cena a lot harder than Cena slapped Angle a few weeks ago.
It was, man. That teeth. Cena needs new teeth.
But I liked Cena's facial impressions, like the way he was looking like a chipmunk. It entertained me.
What's that all about?
And so it was kind of funny. Moving on, number 4, we have the opening match of the night. Kurt Angle versus Mark Henry. Really good opening 6-minute match. Mark Henry, I think this was probably when Mark Henry was at his best, because he was agile, he was quick, and I feel like in the ring with someone as good as a Kurt Angle, this is when he was capable of actually delivering good matches. By the time he started to get pushed towards the main event, I think he was carrying more weight, he was older, he was slower, he could barely walk. I mean, he could walk, but he walks slow as shit, so that's my point. I feel like back here, he could have athletic matches, so to speak, whereas in like 2007, 8, 9, he was just a big tub of lard, really.
It's weird though, they weren't that keen on him in later years. Well, no, in these years I mean, but in later years they were, when he couldn't really work. Maybe you could just argue stars left and they just needed to push someone.
Right, here Mark, we need you. But yeah, no, I think Mark Henry, what would have happened if he got a main event push back at this period? We'll never know.
We'll never know, but this was a good match. No complaints about it. Kurt Angle could work against anybody. Like, we talk about how no one can get a good match at the Big Show, and guarantee when Kurt Angle works for the Big Show, it's a good match.
Yeah, definitely. Moving on to number 3, we're going to stick with Kurt Angle. It's Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar with a promo. Angle's pissed that Brock cost him the match. Brock says, I was just trying to help you out, buddy, because it looked like you were in trouble there. Angle doesn't believe that he was in trouble, but I think he was in trouble. I don't know, would Mark Henry have won? We don't know, but Angle is obviously upset. He wants to be number 1 on SmackDown. Brock tells him, you don't need to worry about the pressure of being the number 1 guy anymore, because I'm here. I'm Brock Lesnar, and I'm the new number 1. So it was a good promo. Brock actually getting to speak for himself, I enjoyed, rather than Heyman doing all the talking.
Yeah, you blew it, Kurt. Referencing the Vengeance Triple Threat match. And Brock can talk. It's not like at this point he's a megastar and that he doesn't really want to talk, he just wants to turn up and get paid. At this point, I feel like Brock genuinely cared about the business, and he's just through the door. He can't act like a dickhead straight away. So it's good seeing Brock talk. Obviously at this point, I think with Heyman as your mouthpiece, you're going to look better than what you are. But I really enjoyed this segment. Brock, prominent role throughout SmackDown.
Yeah, no one's going to say Brock's the best talker in the business, like, but they almost made out when he came back, like in his later years, in his second run, that they needed Heyman because he couldn't talk. Whereas I thought when he was initially sitting down with John Laurinaitis and he was trying to get this deal and he was negotiating contracts, I actually thought it was better. So there was a lot of years, I think, where they wasted Brock, just having Paul Heyman literally speak for him the entire time while Brock just stood there, basically, while Heyman did all the talking. So it's refreshing going back to 2002 and actually realising that Brock can talk for himself. Moving into moment number 2, though, it was the ending of SmackDown. Stephanie McMahon, Eric Bischoff. Eric pretty much done to Stephanie what she done to him on Monday Night Raw. The only difference is we actually don't know who Eric is taking from SmackDown, but we do find out that it's not Kurt Angle's, because when the limo drives off, Kurt is behind Stephanie. She's relieved. He tells her, yeah, I was talking to Eric, but it was my brother Eric. But then Stephanie McMahon's being relieved quickly turns into panic as she wonders who the hell was in the limo, and that's what we're wondering. So I have no idea who it could be.
Yeah, it literally could be anybody apart from the main eventers, which then it doesn't really make it a big deal, does it? Like, say it's a jobber, say it is Rico, It has to be someone main event.
What's better though? The ending to Raw where you actually see who they're taking, or the ending to SmackDown where you don't see who they're taking?
But the problem is with this, what I like about it is it's making you want to tune into Raw. But obviously the gimmick of SmackDown is like, well, no, we need to beat Raw in the ratings. So it's like Bischoff knows what he's doing.
Yeah, definitely. And also another thing is, when Stephanie took someone from Raw, it was advertised in advance that she was coming to take the Harty Raw. We didn't know Eric Bischoff was going to be on SmackDown until we actually tuned in to watch SmackDown. Therefore, I think they can get away with not showing you who it is. But with Stephanie McMahon, she literally said she was coming to take the Harty Raw. Therefore, I don't think it would have had the same effect if they ended Raw not knowing it was Brock Lesnar.
No, they definitely did it the right way about. Can't complain with it.
And moving in, number 1. Megastars teaming together. Is this the most star-studded tag team of all time? Hogan and Rock. We've had Rock and Austin against the NWO, but in terms of just a simple 2-on-2 match, is this the biggest tag team of all time?
It's up there without a doubt. Like Rock and Cena. You could argue at this time he's in the twilight of his career. It's not quite the height, but I mean it's still epic.
Well, if Hogan's in the twilight of his career, what was Rock when he turned up with Cena?
Die Rocky die. Well, that's very true. I thought you were going to say what was Rock when Hogan was in the twilight of his career. Rock was probably about 12-year-old. Let me tell you something, brother.
Anyway, good match against the Un-Americans. I think Christian Lance Storm underrated.
Yeah, and you know what? If someone said to you that the Un-Americans are going over Rock and Hogan, you would have laughed in their face. But they're booking them strong. See, if someone said to me before I watched 2002 Un-Americans, I'd have been like, I'd probably would have treated it like jobbers and won every match fluky. But they're going toe-to-toe. The Un-Americans were battering the Rock.
Yeah, they're beating them. Even Test was getting involved and beating them up.
Undisputed champion, damn it. But
yeah.
Anyway, guys, that is us done. The greatest ever SmackDown episode ever. Was it?
It was good. I don't think it was the greatest. It was very good though. We gave it a 9 out of 10, and no, definitely. But I think SmackDown has been very consistent. I wouldn't even know if this is the greatest SmackDown, to be honest, since the brand split. So I'm not sure if it's the greatest SmackDown ever. But I think there has been a couple of SmackDowns that have rivaled this.
I think a lot of the mark set is though because it's like the beginning of the SmackDown 6. I think that's why you see like Reg, Chavo. I think that's personally why they've said that. You do get the Rock and Hogan teaming up. That's a great element as well. But I feel like there is better SmackDowns.
I think there's been better SmackDowns.
Like if you just look at like even like the first episode of SmackDown with Rock against Triple H, Michaels is the referee. The episode where Austin like blows up the DX Express. I think it was lacking a moment like that. Personally.
Yeah, personally, guys, that's it. We're out. Let us know what you think down below. Best SmackDown ever or not. Till next time, though. Peace.